All of you know blockings, right? What's a blocking? What's a tele lens? What's a zoom lens? And what's a block lens? Simple. When you're doing a wide shot, it's a wide shot, mid shot, close up, suggestions. You know what's a suggestion, right? In your suggestion, behind me there's a camera and the opposite person is talking. And then they cut the same back. When we go to shooting, you actually see a lot of equipment. There's no need for you to know what the equipment is because it's not our job. But it's just for us to know better, a better understanding of the environment, so that we don't feel alienated. There are these black call-outs that keep hanging in every shooting. Those are called cutters. So basically when they put a light, they don't want the entire light coming. So they cut half the light with a cutter. So you should also get used to, cutters and thermocols, lights being, you have to work in these conditions. Because 10 feet radius around you, all your life you're going to have this. You're going to have this equipment all around you. So you should get used to this equipment, how they work. They have a thermocol sheet to enhance the light. They put a black cloth around you. They're actually acting there's a black cloth on your face here. One guy's holding like that. And you have to romance. One guy looking, doesn't know what the hell you're doing. You can't act. I can't just act like this. Even if I act, I have to stay in the same axis line. If I come forward, the focus puller has to shift the focus. Otherwise you'll be blurred. So you have to act in your focus point. Sometimes when you're going wide, you have to tell them. And the best thing, my personal tip is when a cameraman talks to you, first always try to ask. Don't ask them technically, sir, what is the block lens? but every actor has definitely the right to know the depth of the shot. Like this, sir, is it till here? So I always ask in front of the camera. Okay, it's this much. So you know how much to act. Sometimes, if it's a full shot and you didn't know, you thought it's only this much, you're acting like this. But if it's a full shot, you actually have a little more body language and you can move up. Things like that. So you should always know what is the depth of the shot. I don't know what you should know what your frame is. And in a close-up, you should not move too much. Because, it's very difficult to catch. What is very important is focus marks. Lighting. When it comes to lighting, this is a small tip. If you're acting in an outdoor, that's in the sun, we either act indoors in a set or we act outdoors. If you're acting outdoors, sometimes take the light. Like how I take, the staging, how I take, you should also take the light. If there is a shadow in your face, or suppose you're shooting under a tree, what they say is, see through a place where there's a hole in the tree, so the light falls in your face. So stand there, exactly so the light falls in your face. Take the light. It's very, very important, because, in a screen, you can come out well. That's why they do makeup on the face, so that you look bright. And they also put light on your face, so that you look bright. So whatever you do enhances out. That's one of the small tips. So on the staging, like if I act like this, you see only 50% of my performance because we're half. So what we do when we talk to other person, we talk like this. So you can see, you can see more of me. What is happening in real time right now? If you capture it on camera, technically on a camera, television cameras are 25 frames, movie cameras are 24 frames. So let's not get into detail, but just a regular average is, let's give us 24. 24 is when you can see the picture live. When you're seeing an actor acting live, what happens is in earlier days, now it's all digital, but earlier days, film used to roll. It all used to be film. So 24 frames used to be there in 1 second. So that's when you get real-time normal action. A 48 is when you have a high-speed shot. It's exactly double the time. So when you want a very enhanced or a very long duration high slow motion shot, it's called a 96 frames. So this is like, see, this is 24, this is normal, 48, 96. There are, for action sequences or a couple of, extra shots or product shots, they use even 1000 frames per second. Very unlikely that they use it for actors, but they do also use it for action sequences. Bullet shooting shot, in those English films you see, the bullet jumps out. You know, when you're hitting buck, you see those high frames moving. Those are 1,000 frames. So mostly in slow frames, what they say is don't try to close your eyes as much as you can. You know, when I hit, if it's a 1,000 frame shot, if I'm actually, closing my eyes and hitting, or even if I blink my eye, so when you actually see it in a replay, you're actually doing, so half the shot you're closing your eyes. So try as much as possible not to close your eyes in a high frame shot. Sir used to teach me one thing, very, very, very nice thing which he said. He used to say, if you look your character, half your job is done. I don't know if he still says it. Yeah. If you look your character, there's one thing that's just true. Ask any actor in the world, any good actor who has an understanding, they say your body can't lie. I never used to believe it. It's absolutely true. Your body can't lie. You can lie, you can fake it, but your body language, what you're trying to say, what you're trying to do, when somebody is faking it, they're faking it. How? When somebody is, a hypocrite, you'll know. How? Somebody's got a bad thing against you, they don't like you, but they're being very sweet to you. You know it. How? We don't know. Say it.
Body language doesn't match the words.
Exactly. Your body can't lie. So you have to be real. Doesn't mean, when you have to kill a person, you don't have to kill the person. But you have to, the thought process has to be real. You have to run it in your head. They ask you to just see. There's some shots, just say, sir, just see. I ask, why am I seeing? So he's running away. So you just look in there. So I have to have a thought process when I just look at the shot. I just can't see like, over. It does work. But that's what actors do. But to be a great actor or a good actor, you actually have to think. He's running away.
थैंक यू नहीं ये कह रहा था यार जिंदगी में आप सोचना बंद नहीं करते कैमरे के सामने सोचना कब शुरू करोगे यार
You should start. Even I picked it up very lately. I'm no expert actor. I'm a very average actor. I'm still trying to explore acting.
Yes.
But say the 10 steps in acting, probably in step 1, I'm in step 3 or step 4 max. So I'm also trying to explore. And one of the things which I never used to do is, they say, just look angry. This is very mechanical. You're doing mechanical acting. This anybody can do. What is the next level that you can act? There are 100 things that can go. One thing, like Sir said, if you look your character, 50% of the job is done. And any volunteers? Any volunteer? Come. You just have to tell the person, just get lost. Just say it.
Just get lost.
Yes. Okay? What's your name?
Harsh.
Harsh just said get lost like his original body language. You saw the way he said get lost. Now you're a military officer.
Get lost!
See? There's a lot of body language change. By just, he said get lost. The first get lost was like Harsh. It was his original body language. But the second get lost was he's trying to behave like the character. Good actors try to behave like the character, not like their regular body language. Now you're a lenient police officer. Say get lost.
Get lost.
See, even in a police officer there is a variation. You're saying the same get lost. He either say it by himself, either you're saying it like your original person, like what Harsh does. As a police inspector, you said get lost, but that is also a regular get lost. That's just a police officer. It doesn't have a characterization. Now I gave him a characterization with a detailing saying he's a lenient police officer. So, then you have a body language. So that is the next level. 1, you do like yourself. 2, you do like the character. 3, you give detailings to the character. If you're a police officer, who's lenient? Who has a stammer? Now say yes. Get lost.
Get lost.
See? That gives a depth. So, as much as possible, see, stars. There are stars, there are actors. The thing with stars is they behave like themselves. And it's their policy to behave like themselves. Because they want to be imitatable. they want to make their own personality. So whether you want to be an actor or do you want to be a star, it's a personal choice. I try to balance both somewhere. I like to give somewhere a core originality of my own. At the same time, I also like to give a variation. As my personal thing.